Welcome to the Not On My Watch podcast, where real-life issues facing the family and the church are addressed with bold and uncompromising truth. It's time to reject the mediocrity of the day, live courageously in the face of danger, and declare, Not On My Watch. Here are your hosts, Jeff and Rochelle Ferguson.
Hey, welcome to episode 114 of the Not On My Watch podcast. Did I mention it like you wanted? No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, you did. And thank you for doing what I asked.
That's what this podcast is about.
This podcast
Submission and obedience
is
and all that.
absolutely about that. And we're going to get to that, so stick with us. Oh, my goodness.
Everybody turns it off. No, I'm just kidding. This is episode 114 of the Not On My Watch podcast. And wow.
It's pretty...
I feel happy about that.
I do. 114. Wow. It's pretty incredible. And
apparently, we don't believe in seasons. We just keep going.
We're in season 1. Still,
like
just
season 1.
We keep going.
Episode 10,000. Okay, I don't know. We really don't. I don't know. Maybe we'll change seasons.
Maybe we will. I don't know. Is that I'm not sure when you're supposed to change seasons. Maybe when I feel like it's changed. I don't know. So anyway, what better way to celebrate episode 114 right here on the Not On My Watch podcast than to talk about marriage. I'm excited because
episode 113, which was, if you're good at math, was the last one.
Which I'm not.
I said that for you, Jeff, and for others who count on their fingers. No, I'm just... I said that in love.
If you're watching, she just lovingly put her hands on my hands as if to say, I'm joking. But if you're listening, I wanted to let everybody know what was going on. So,
okay,
that's the advantage of watching on YouTube. So anyway,
yeah, or other places too.
Yep.
So episode 113, we talked about marriage, and that I don't even remember the title, but it was something to the
why marriage can be fun, and why we want to let the world know about it.
Well, and I want to say thank you for letting the world know. Like, lots of people have been sharing that, and it was actually the fastest watched episode in the most watched episode in the quickest amount of time.
Yes.
If that made sense to you, you understand. If not, don't worry about it. So,
and one of the reasons is, I'm not going to rehash it, but one of the reasons is, again, a lot of people have this thought that marriage is hard, laborious, difficult, anything.
And you just have to suffer.
You just have to suffer. We just got to do this for the kids, anything but fun, anything but happy. Well, here I've heard
that's
that before.
That's a whole nother podcast, Jeff.
I've heard that before, and I think what we want to do, our goal is to change the narrative about what even marriage, and when I say marriage, I'm assuming Christian marriage is all about. Because let's be honest, when you read the books, even Christian marriage doesn't necessarily paint a picture of something that can be fun and happy and enjoyable.
Yeah,
so,
I think that's why we did the podcast.
Right.
So we are kind of following. This is not part 2. It's its own
standalone episode.
It's episode 114.
Season 2. I'm just making that executive
it's season
decision
1.
right now.
We'll talk about that. Anyways, and here it is. We talked about how
Get ready.
We talked about how marriage is fun, and it should be, and let's change the narrative. Not just saying it, but living it. It's not like, marriage is actually hard, but let's just say it's easy, so then we feel like we're tricking ourselves.
Bait and switch.
No, that's called denial.
Yes.
And you don't want to live there. But no, this one, episode 114, is talking about the secret to a happy marriage. And we feel like we found it.
Yeah. I know I have. We found
that's what I told you to say.
That's what she told me to say. And so we're mutually submitting.
See, it's right here on this script.
Right
there is no script. So just kidding.
So the secret to happy marriage. Often I don't like these titles because it's like, really, are you kidding? But I can confidently can title this episode in this way because what we're going to talk about today, I literally believe is a secret to happy marriage. And as we were talking about this, I want to let our listeners know If you saw the title, you thought, okay,
I don't need to listen to this, right? Yeah.
I know what they're going to say. And
being a Christian.
If I'm equally yoked, if I'm a Christian, if she's a Christian.
Jesus is number one.
If Jesus is number one, that's the secret to a happy marriage. And so I don't need to listen. And I will say that is not the point of this episode.
That's not the secret.
That's not the secret. Here's you said it earlier when we were talking about this. That's not even a secret.
Like, it's in the Bible.
It's public knowledge.
Right. That
Paul says, what fellowship can there be between light and darkness? Between whatever. He keeps on...
I didn't know if you were going to say this, like, Belial.
But I was.
I was like, are you going to say that on the podcast?
See, the secret's thinking. I was like, Belial. I was going to say that, but he's like, what light can there be... Can happen between these two opposite things? And he said, there is none.
Yeah,
there can
like
be no fellowship
between
light and darkness. And so we're not going to say that because, number one, it's not a secret. It's very public. It's in the Bible. And bottom line, we're assuming this about marriage, that you need to have a Christian marriage for it to even be successful, for it to be fulfilling.
Like where you're equally yoked. So
right.
Basic.
It's base level. We're not going to
So that's not the secret. So if you're like, oh, I thought I was just going to hear about that, you're wrong.
So what are we going to hear about today?
What is the secret? Okay, so we're going to let you in on what we believe we found the secret to a happy marriage. Has every day of our marriage been happy? I guess not. I don't know.
You know, I'm finding, I don't know how many minutes we are into this podcast, and I'm already interested in what she's about ready to say.
Well, there's a few moments where maybe we fought or things like that. So
should we talk about a few of those?
I think that might get us some great views, but we don't need to talk about our fights.
Yes, we don't.
But the majority, like I'm talking about overall, the overarching, not when you get frustrated with each other, those little spats. I'm talking about an overall happy marriage. What is the secret? And here's what we believe is the secret to a happy marriage. Here it is. The secret to a happy marriage is being best friends.
Being best friends. Now, I have a question for you. Does that mean I, as a guy, need to call you my bestie?
I'll respond.
Only in the confines of our home.
Yeah, please don't. I actually don't. I don't know. I don't know if I like the word bestie. But anyways, we don't have little half-heart token necklaces or like...
We have ankle bracelets. Sorry.
That's a different kind of podcast. We have matching tats. No, I'm just kidding. Like, we don't even have any tats. If we did, though, we would get a matching, I guess. I don't know.
I don't even know about that. But anyway.
We're probably not going to get tats.
Being best friends is the secret to a happy marriage. I like this.
Okay, so we're going to unpack it a little bit. And what does that really mean? Here's what it, like, basic means. You only have one best friend. Like, the whole idea that, like, I have 3 best friends. No, you have 3 friends that are good friends. But if you have a best friend, like, they have the sole title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? Like,
I would, I
don't say to my kids, you're my best kid. Because they'd be wrong. Like, it's, first of all, I don't believe that. Like, I have 3 wonderful kids. They're the best kids to me. But, like, there's multiple. Like, I guess I'm just saying, like, does that make sense?
When you say my best friend, that's a very exclusive statement. That's a very...
okay, thank you for saying it correctly.
Hey, we're, you and I, it's just us. And so when we talk about marriage is very, not very exclusive. It is exclusive. You look at Scripture.
Yes, it is. It's exclusive.
But here's the breakdown. If there's more than one in the relationship, I don't mean like in any kind of weird way. I just mean even emotionally, there's a problem. And I think that introduces a whole lot of, where we could talk about a whole lot of issues. Because really, in many people's marriage, there's not one relationship. There's countless other relationships. I'm talking about emotionally.
Correct.
Like, yeah, we're good, we're married, but I have all these other connections that I'm actually more connected to over here than I am this. What you're saying is this has to be the primary, the deepest, the best connection.
Yes.
Right here. this marriage relationship.
Yes. So it's exclusive.
Yes, absolutely.
It's exclusive. And so what do best friends do? Like, what are some things that when we're saying this is the secret to this is a pretty bold statement. We're making, I guess, a bold statement. I don't know. I'm used to that. But what do best friends do? They tell each other everything.
Absolutely.
If there's any secrets in a relationship, in a marriage, then there is introducing like doubt. There's introducing confusion. There's introducing, a whole lot. There's introducing friction and problems.
This is why when in cases that you hear of infidelity, when someone's secret has been exposed, there's a break in trust, so much so that there can be healing, but there's often not a back to where it was. So there's no secrets. You're right.
There's no secrets.
No secrets. They
even
tell each
just
other.
You just mentioned something that's like, I would say extreme.
It is.
But I'm even talking about like anything. When you purposely withhold information from your spouse, you are not being a best friend. You're not. It's like, if I forget to tell Jeff that I don't know, went to the grocery store after I got gas, like that's not purposely withhold. It's just like it slipped my mind. But it's like if I'm like, I don't want to tell him I went here.
I was going to actually say that. Like I think about this, like when, if you were to say on the phone, hey, where are you? And I purposely said I wasn't even doing anything. I was just at the grocery store, and I said I was somewhere else.
That'd be a miracle. Go ahead.
Thank the Lord. I wish you'd walk in one. No, if I said somewhere, I am somewhere where I am not, even if I wasn't doing anything bad, what that's doing is there's some secrets there. Now, I guess if I'm buying you a gift and I don't want you to know, that's a whole different thing. But
Bring
if I'm
on the gift.
But if there's any kind of secrecy in the environment, in the relationship, that does not lend itself to an exclusive best friend type relationship, because best friends tell each other everything. They're open and honest about everything.
I want to talk to you about everything. Like,
yes.
So if I find myself not wanting to, I think I'm like, what? That's weird.
That should be a red flag. Yes.
I think also best friends, they are your confidants.
I love that word.
And you did some research on this. Don't go crazy. I know you could just throw down your doctor card.
I thought I was your best friend. Can I? No.
That's
so
another topic.
Confidants are people who are for you. And not only are they just for you, but they have no competing loyalties. What do I mean by that?
Oh my goodness. Hit it.
What I mean by that is they're not for you and for something or somebody else. They are for you. So for instance, if you work if you have a boss, they may be for you, but they're also for the organization
or the company.
So they have competing loyalties there. In a marriage, we have to be confidants. I can't be for you and for somebody else at the same time. I have to be unequivocally for you.
Or even for, like, I can't be for you and then for my own agenda.
Yes.
Our agendas have to match.
And this is where jealousy comes in. And a lot of people experience jealousy in the marriage relationship where this is odd, but this happens more often than what you think. There's a competing with each other for attention, or
even for my own way.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Like, I want it this way, so I'm going to try to redirect. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's manipulation. And I mean, these are people you're going to have very few of in your life. And I'm not trying to be negative when I say the whole confidant.
Reality.
It's just reality. It's like you could have a friend that lives where you live. You could be really good friends. You could maybe go to coffee like once a week or whatever, and you could talk about a lot of things. And if you, as the friend, bring up like, I'm thinking about moving like an hour away or something, that friend is most likely going to find it difficult to be a confidant for you. Because there's a part of them that at least they're going to have to combat it. You have to at least know that they're combating the fact of like, ooh, do I want my weekly coffee person to leave me? So I want them to stay. So can I really give objectivity to this?
That's good.
And so this is not bad, but you're not going to have a billion confidants in your life.
Right.
Because, people have competing loyalties. And
it's not bad.
It's not even wrong. It's just how it is.
It's just the way it is.
Right. But in a spouse relationship, in a best friend relationship, this has to be your confidant. Yes. Like, I remember you and I have faced some of these places in life where it was like, I think about you getting your doctorate. It was like a 6 or 6 year process. I don't remember. I've already blacked out from all of that. But I remember when we met about it, like, and I know, like, we met. Well, yeah, like, we had really small kids at the time. And so we had to, like, sit down and go, okay, let's talk about this.
Yes, yep.
Now, you were almost like, I don't know if I should do it right now. And I'm like, yes, you should. You know, so, like, you know, we had these kind of conversations and realizing that, like, would it make my life more difficult for a time?
Mm-hmm. And it did.
Yes.
Yes.
Would it make your life more difficult?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
We had to talk about that. Making sure that we were, like, wanting what was best for us rather than just wanting our own ways.
Correct. Because a marriage relationship is really the forming of an entirely new identity. We go to Scripture, the two become one.
Yes.
So that confidant relationship is, again, rare, but that has to be. I can't worry about, and people worry about this, is she going to upstage me? I can't worry about that because it's about us. It's not that it doesn't even enter into our vocabulary because we're confidants. I just want what's best for you and our marriage, not in comparison to me.
I hear you, but that is...
I've talked with people
yes, I know.
who say we compete with one another. And again, you have to be confidants. So
yes. Okay, so best friends, confidants. Best friends stay connected. Yeah. They stay connected. You don't have a best friend if you never talk to them. You really don't. I mean, we can say it and we can pretend like in this postmodern world where everything's true, that whatever. But really, like, if you aren't connected to people, if you're not, like, you have to, like, and this takes, you know, maybe this is the part where marriages work or whatever, but it takes work. Like, we cultivate relationship even throughout the day, even when we're separate at times, or you're somewhere or I'm somewhere, staying connected. Yeah,
but then you should want to be around each other. If there's ever a moment you're like, I don't know about if I'm really looking forward to coming home, that's a red flag. I've never felt that, okay? But I've talked with people who are like, I don't know if that's a red flag. Friends, what do? They look forward to when they can. They make excuses to be, hey, let's do this because we just want to hang out. Just
be friends, besties.
When we get married, that should not end. And I think in the grind of marriage, the everyday grind of just life, it can get to the point where people can become more like business associates than they are friends. And I think that is so huge that we need to want to be around each other.
That's what we're talking about this. This is why it's a secret. Is staying friends.
Yes.
Staying friends. They're loyal and honest with each other. You know, like Jeff's never going to find somebody more loyal to him. And I would say you're never going to find somebody more honest with you than me, because I am secure in this. Like, in the vice versa, like, we can be honest and say what we really, because it's security there. It's because of the loyalty is there.
Sometimes people can be shocked as to, you know, how transparent, even and honest we are with each other. Here's the thing. If there's something that I need to know, I want you to tell me.
Yeah, I
will. I want you to tell me. And vice versa. We tell each other that, because here's the thing. It is not, I don't care how you say it, it is not loving to withhold something from somebody. It's not loving to withhold celebration, but it's not loving to withhold truth from somebody. Yep. And you say, oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings. You know what? You got to get over that. If the person can't handle truth.
So you want to lie to them?
Yeah. Then you don't have a relationship.
Yeah, you really don't.
You don't have a marriage. And so you know what? Being honest with each other, even if it might cause some, like, oh, what do you mean?
But that's where the loyalty and honesty go together.
Right.
Because you know you can be honest because there's loyalty.
Yes.
Okay. Last for today. I don't know. We might pick it up again. I don't know. But about best friends, and I think this is the secret. Oh, it's so important. Do you know what best friends do? They have fun. Mm-hmm. Like, life, I know that some people are like, Rochelle,
stop it with the fun.
You know what? Life is meant to be fun. I know life is hard, and we could do, oh my goodness, I could do podcasts on the valleys of life. Okay, and how...
Can we talk about the mountaintops for a
you know what? Guess what? Even in the valleys, life is meant to be fun. Because guess what? You have the joy of the Lord.
Yes.
Like if you truly are empowered by the Spirit, it's not so that you can dance around. It's so that you can live in life with joy and express that to others, that even when you're going through difficult times. So like for us, there have been seasons where we've gone through, like, you're going to read about it in a book, crazy things, like literally crazy things. But guess what? We're still having fun. Yeah. Like if life gets so serious that you can't have fun and you don't have the joy of the Lord, you're doing it in your own strength.
Yes.
So have fun. Like, make that a part of your life.
Can I just, full disclosure here, I'm going to share some things about me. And that is, I would say fun is not necessarily just something that just comes naturally. You've actually taught me how to actually,
I don't agree with that. You are funny.
Well, thank you.
And that is like the first time I met you, you did impersonations. I remember you were literally like 19 or 20 years old, and you would impersonate leadership gurus.
Doesn't that sound fun?
Well, all because I'm saying you have a knack for impersonating.
And I have a knack to be uptight. I do have a knack to be uptight as well.
I am trying to help you here. I'm trying to
and so
you are fine. I just don't want you to sit there and say this.
But what you're saying is because you know what, life is serious. There's a lot of serious things. But wow, you can't live in the total seriousness of life all the time. It'll kill you. And so joy needs to be the hallmark of your marriage. You need to laugh with one another.
And find things to have fun together with. Like our current craze.
Here we go.
Is pickleball.
Okay. For those of you who say it's not a sport, I am the most sore that I've been in some time after playing pickleball for 2 days.
I was like, why are you so sore?
I'm asking myself that same question.
No, we were playing pickleball. I'm just going to tell a quick story. We were playing pickleball last week. And there was like another group like nearby watching.
A group of, let me just say it.
Go ahead. I don't know what you're going to say.
All women. And
yes.
So,
what's the point of that?
There's no point other than I was embarrassed. Okay. Let me just say that. Sorry.
Okay, so these 4 women were watching, they like stopped their game of pickleball. And they were watching our game, and then as soon as like our little point got done, they're like, "Whoa, you're making him run."
As evidenced, this is why I was embarrassed.
That's why you were so
You asked, as evidenced by my huffing and puffing and my red face. I should have looked like I was mastering the situation, but
give you 6 months. You're going to be a pickleball star.
Oh yeah. So anyway.
That was really not the point. I just wanted to share that story.
Yeah.
But have fun.
Yes.
Find things, even in, the crazy.
Yeah.
Find, and I think about different seasons for us, what fun looked like. Like when we had really small kids and diapers were the norm and all of those kind of things, we would just have fun at night. We would go on the back porch and talk and play cards and stuff. I mean, that was what we do. Now when we're at sporting events, like every night of the week, we're joining in. I don't know, we're coaching together. Even tonight we're coaching together on a team. So you find fun and you find it in different seasons, but you've gotta maintain that relationship. They've got to be your best friend. You've got to have fun, and it's got to be the number one relationship that you have.
And there it is, the secret to a happy marriage. It can be happy. It is a secret, being best friends. Wow, I'm telling you, it makes all the difference. It makes all the difference. So,
well, until the next episode with me and my bestie, we'll see you then on the Not on My Watch podcast.
See you then.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Not on My Watch podcast. You are a watchman for this time and hour. Don't forget to subscribe and rate this podcast wherever you listen. If you haven't already, head on over to our website, www.notonmywatch.co, for more resources from Jeff and Rochelle. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next time on the next episode. But until then, keep watchful.